Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 7 July 2022. It's Thursday night, 9 o'clock. Time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel, and we've got a barn burner, a mega sale for you guys tonight. 38 items of fine cutlery for your perusal. And we have miles to go before we sleep, so let's get into the housekeeping real quick. First up, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I will post them on the screen for you in just a moment, then I will also print them in the description underneath this video so you can peruse them at your leisure. Also in the description above the terms of the sale, you will see 3 links to previous videos on the channel. The first is to my Primer for Buyers video. That's a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms. Please be familiar with that and understand why it works the way it does before you attempt to participate in the knife sale. The second link is to my FAQs for Consignors video. If you're interested in using this weekly sales event to move along some of your collection, that one explains how it all works from the consignor's perspective. And then the third link, as always, is to my Rates and Services video for the ApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. So in the description, the all-important description, you will at the top see those 3 links. Then the terms of the sale. Then at the bottom, the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left, pricing on the right, number to the left of the slash is the price of the knife as shown, number to the right as sharpened by the ApostleP Knife Service. There will be next day sharpening available for the first 6 knives purchased to be sharpened tonight. So those first 6 will ship tomorrow the 8th, along with all of the as shown inventory. If you're outside the first 6, expect your knife to ship in about 3 weeks. And that is it for the housekeeping. Let's get the terms up on the screen. We'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, we have just 2 leftovers from last week's sale, and I'm kind of surprised these 2 are still hanging around. First up, from Medford Knife and Tool, with all the goodies, we have the first one of these I've ever seen. This is an auto knife offering from Medford. This is the Medford Nosferatu automatic, named after the most famous vampire of them all, and it comes inside a coffin-shaped handle. It is a side-folding auto with a thumb safety, button lock, beautiful double hollow ground spear point blade, false edge on the top. S35 VN is your blade steel, 3.5 inches is your blade length. Handle's 4 3/4 inches long. Kind of a chubby thing. A milled titanium Medford clip, satin finished. Got a couple little hairlines in the satin, but nothing major, very tiny. Lockup is dead rock solid. Blade centering is pretty much dead down the middle. Action is just fine. Beautiful tumbled blue anno finish on the titanium. Gorgeous fluting, tapered to match the shape of the handle. Let's see, we'll call this near mint in the box. These are out of stock at all of the online retailers. When they were available, they were $675 web price. We ran this last week at $500. It's still here. We did drop it to $470 on Saturday, and it's still here. So somebody gets it for the bargain price of $440, like it is. 4/60th my edge on it. That's the Medford Nosferatu automatic. Next up, our second and last leftover from last week. This one from Bladerunner Systems. And this is the Barebones Tanto Balisong. A right smart affair, don't you think? Tumbled finished stainless steel handle, heavily skeletonized, beautiful pivots, beautiful latch, and a gorgeous blade. I mean gorgeous. Bead blasted 154 cm, beautiful Tanto profile, 4 7/16 inches of awesomeness is that blade. The handle length is 5 9/16. I'll show you the side play on the handles. It's very minimal. And most of that is really flex. I'm not feeling any play. Gorgeous knife. Super sweet action. Just buttery and free, how you want a Balisong. I will not embarrass myself by attempting to flip it. Let's see. We'll call it like new in box. These are always out of stock every time they drop. We ran this last week for $275. It stuck around for the weekend. We dropped it to $250, and it's still here. Like new in box, and this is going to be like your only opportunity to get one of these under the new retail price. $220 like it is. $245 with my edge on it. That is the Bladerunner Systems Barebones Balisong. Next up, we are now into the classics. I remember when I first became a YouTube knife guy, this was brand new. Now, it's a classic. This is the Cold Steel, full size, Recon 1 Tanto. The old sort of Teflon-y coating on the old sort of Aus 8 steel. 3 7/8 inches of badassery in the blade. 5 3/8 inches of handle. The coarse G10. We only have the right hand clip and no box with this one. The very coarse G10. The action is super free. And the blade centering is dead down the middle. Only very minor coating wear, like on the corners. Maybe a rub here or there, right there maybe. But edge really has no wear at all. And the lockup is Demco Triad rock solid. So we're going to call it near mint, no box. Your price, $60 like it is. $85 with my edge on it. That is the Cold Steel Recon 1 Tanto. Next up, now we're getting to the super classics, guys. From Spyderco. I think this was a mid to late 90s knife. It's the Spyderco C63 Gen 1 Chinook. With the best looking Chinook blade ever. Check out the blade steel, guys. CPM 440V. I know that's like something else, but I can't remember what. So this is a Golden, Colorado produced midlock. Beautifully hafted. Rock solid lockup. Smooth action. Not super free, but nice and smooth. Perfectly centered. Other than a little, you know, just dirt accumulated in the G10. Pretty doggone nice. Does not appear to have been sharpened. We're going to call this excellent to near mint, no box. You got a 3 3/4 inch blade, 4 7/8 inch handle, fully lined midlock backlock. I guess we're going to call this excellent to near mint, no box. Your price, $150 like it is, $170 with my edge on it. That is the Spyderco C63 Gen 1 Chinook. Next up, this is the save me from myself moment of tonight's sale. This is the Almar 3001 SERE. A beautiful little knife. Midlock, backlock, Seki City produced, looks like Moki. Gorgeous spear point blade. Saber ground from mid blade, and then a gorgeous swedge. Nail nick opening. The Almar Maker's Mark is engraved in the steel. 2 7/8 inch blade, about 3 13/16 inches of handle. Satin finished stainless steel bolsters. Craton handle scales, and then the brass Almar shield with the SERE fluting in the craton and a lanyard loop. Lockup is rock solid. Action is beautifully smooth. Centering is very close to perfect. Condition on this I'm going to call near mint. No box. I couldn't really find, yeah I could. There was one sold on Arizona Custom Knives at $275. This one can be yours. $150 like it is, $170 with my edge. That is the Almar 3001 SERE. Next up, another one from Almar. Now this is going to be a little bit more of a budget Almar, very tiny little knife. I don't know the model. We're just going to call it the Almar FRN liner lock. So an FRN handle, back spacers integral to one side, pinned construction, brass thumb stud does the opening. Don't know the blade steel. It's probably something like AUS 8. And then it's a liner lock, but it is released with this button. The action is not going to be flickable, but it does lock up pretty doggone nice. A little vertical play, and the centering is going to be off to the right. But condition, very near mint, guys. No box. I don't know. Maybe somebody wants this knife. Just 2 1/8 inches of blade, 2 15/16 of handle. Excellent to near mint, no box. Your price, $40 like it is, $60 if I sharpen it, and next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6. That's the Almar FRN liner lock. Next up, from the Benchmade Knife Company, Oregon City, Oregon, we got maybe the most classic tactical folder ever produced by Benchmade, but you got to go back a ways to know that. Again, we're probably looking at mid-late 90s on this one. It is, of course, the AFCK liner lock. Black G10 handle scales. Old Parkerized Benchmade USA clip. Got a little bit of a bend in it. Easily remedied. Steel liners. Looks like an FRN backspacer. Got the aluminum, like silk screen butterfly logo on both sides. Opening hole, combo edge, ATS 34 blade steel. Got some honest wear in the coating. Right hand tip down only. But I've never seen one with this good of lockup, smooth action, and perfect blade centering. So it's got that going for it. We'll call it excellent, no box, but mechanically the nicest one I've seen. Your price, $130 like it is, $150 with my edge. No box on this one, guys. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6. That's the Benchmade AFCK liner lock. Next up, one of 3, count them 3, Chris Reeve knives in tonight's sale. This one is a small Sebenza 21 PJ, plain Jane. Birth card says it was born April 14th, 2014. Has S35VN blade steel. And I wrote on this one, amazing action. It has not been sharpened, so I have not tuned it, but check this out. And we are tight on the bushing. Look at that. Look at that. Action is beautiful. Centering is dead. Lockup is Chris Reeve perfect. You've got some moderate trails going on. Honest carry, very little edge wear. So we're going to say, I don't know how you're going to classify this condition. It's probably excellent cosmetically. It's beautiful mechanically. I call it a superb example. Your price, $275, like it is, $295 with my edge. Discontinued and hard to get. Next up, we have one from, you guys have taught me how to say this, like the Chinese know how to say it, I don't know. Concept spelled incorrectly. From Concept, we have the K2016A5 Goblin. It is a front flipper that I will not embarrass myself with because I can't front flip. You got a blade that is 2 1/4 inches long, satin finished S35 VN. The blade is bronze anodized, tumbled titanium, beautiful handle. 3 7/16 inches a handle. It is a titanium frame lock with a steel inserted lock bar. Ball bearing front flipper. Super free action. Centering is perfect. Lockup is perfect. It is near mint in box. I don't know why I didn't call it like new. I don't know. There's a little bit of a smudge in the clip right by my thumbnail. You can buy these brand new at your favorite web retailer. It'll run you $147-ish, or just buy this one, $100 like it is. $120 with my edge. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. The Concept K2016A5 Goblin. Next up, it is Kizer time, boys. Got a little run of Kizers going on here. First one is the V3508A1 Critical Mini. The Critical Mini with red accents and G10 scales. Deep carry right hand only pocket clip. It is, of course, a ball bearing flipper with sort of a sheep cliff blade. CPM 3V is your blade steel. Blade length is 3 inches. Handles 4 1/4. Blackened stainless steel liners. Lockup is by liner lock, of course. There's your engagement. It is rock solid. Action is smooth and beautiful. Centering is dead down the middle, dead down the middle. Flipping action, stunning. We'll call it near mint to like new in box. Let's see, these run brand new on your favorite web retailer. $100. This one can be yours. $70 shipped, priority mail. $90 with my edge on it. Next day sharpening available. That is the Kizer V3508A1 Critical Mini. Next up, here's a little honey from Kizer. The label says it's a V3549C1 Kizer Assassin made in China. So this version of the Assassin comes with, I don't know what color you call that, but it's linen micarta. It might be brown or has some black in it, maybe OD. Kind of pretty, just beautiful to the touch. It is a button lock ball bearing flipper with what appear to be tumble polished and exposed or revealed stainless steel liners. Very cool blade design. Kind of a drop spear. Blade steel is 154 cm. Blade length is 3 inches. Handle 4 1/8. Nice back spacer with the integral lanyard loop. Ambidextrous tip-up deep carry clip. Rock solid lockup. Blade centering is, I'm sure, perfect. Condition on the Assassin, we'll call it near mint in box. These are out of stock right now, but when they were available, they were $69, web price new. This one can be yours for $50, like it is. $70 with my edge on it. That's the Kizer V3549C1 Assassin. And next up, another one from Kizer. This one is, it's the V4593C1 Towser. This is kind of a cool knife, neat handle material. That is a 4 5/8 inch handle, and it is scaled in kind of a snakeskin milled pattern from a material called Blue Canyon Richlight. Very cool. Ambidextrous tip-up deep carry clip. It is a ball bearing pivot with thumb studs and a stainless steel liner lock. There's your engagement. It's rock solid. That 154 cm blade is 3 7/16 inches in length with a beautiful bidirectional satin. I mean, beautiful. Super sweet action on the ball bearing. Centering is going to be perfect. Very nice. Like new in the box. These are out of stock, but when they were available, you could buy them for 69 bucks. Brand new web price. This one can be yours for 55 shipped priority mail. 75 with my edge on it, all in. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6. It's the Kizer V4593C1 Towser. Next up, we're moving from Kizer to Civivi. And the first one is the C21006-1 Conspirator. Rocking the black canvas micarta handle. This is going to be a button lock ball bearing flipper. The handle's 4 5/8. It sports a deep carry ambidextrous tip up pocket clip. Ooh, I barely touched it. Oh yeah. Got kind of a tumbled bead blast on the blade. Nice fuller on the spear point. Nearly full flat ground up to there. 3 7/16 inches is your blade length. The steel is Nitro V. The lockup is rock solid. Oh, you can't see the engagement because it's a button lock. Super sweet action. How's the blade centering? Blade centering be perfect. We'll call it like new in the box. These are available brand new at your favorite web knife merchant for 80 bucks. Or you could just buy this one, and it's a beautiful example, like new in the box. 65 shipped priority mail, 85 with my edge on it. That's the Civivi C21006-1 Conspirator. Next up, another from Civivi. This one is the C2024B Riffle with olive micarta handle. Sort of an OD green canvas micarta. On the Riffle, you have a 4 1/2 inch handle, stainless steel liner lock, deep carry pocket clip that will be reversible for left or right hand carry. Nice skeletonized flipper tab, and it's a good one. Out of the handle flies a 3 1/2 inch blade, 14C28N, and a sneaky looking drop point with an interesting hole for lightning, or I guess you could open it with that. There's your lock engagement on the stainless steel liner lock. It's rock solid. Centering is down the middle. Flipping action is stellar. Like new in the box. Buy one of these brand new from your favorite knife website. It'll cost you 55 bucks. Or just buy this one. $40 shipped, priority mail, no sales tax. 60 if you would like my edge on it. That's the Civivi C2024B Riffle. Next up, probably the most iconic of all Civivis. This is the C2103D Elementum button lock. I know what you're thinking. I don't disagree. So you got brown canvas micarta, you got black liners, stainless steel, you got a blasted stainless steel pocket clip that will be reversible for left or right hand tip-up carry. You got a button lock and you got a blade on a ball bearing pivot, but there's no, it's a flinger. So I'm calling this a ball bearing flinger. It's locked closed. Yeah. Interesting, I think. So you got, again, a sort of tumbled bead blast finish on the blade, kind of a spear point affair, hollow ground. 3 7/16 inches of blade, nice and thin behind the edge. 4.5 inches of handle. Lockup is perfect. Action is perfect. Centering is perfect. These are available online at your favorite new knife merchant. $66 it'll run you if you buy a new one. Or just buy this one for $50. Postage included. No sales tax. All in $50. Priority mail. Or $70 if you'd like my edge on it. And next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6. That's the Civivi 2103D Elementum. Next up. This is kind of an OG Kizer box right here. And inside the box you will find a KI 4459A1 Corto. So we have a beautifully melted crowned titanium handle, titanium frame lock mechanism with steel lock bar insert, milled black and green G10 inlays. You got a what appears to be a titanium pocket clip, going to be right hand tip up, and then I got thumb stud deployment on phosphor bronze. I got a S35 VN blade, satin finished, 3 7/16 inches in length, handles 4 5/16. Pay close attention. There are fine scratches all up and down the blade face on both sides. It has been used, it has been sharpened. There you go. We'll call it excellent in box. These are discontinued and out of stock. When they were available, they had a web price of about $100. You can buy this one for $50, like it is, and then $70 with my edge on it. That's the Kizer KI 4459A1 Corto. Next up, first time I've ever seen this knife in this configuration. It's from ZT. It's a real beast. It's the 0456CF Sinkovich. So I've seen the all-tie ones, but I have not seen the carbon fiber version. So this is sort of the stubby Sinkovich, right? Steel inserted titanium frame lock, KVT bearing system, no death lock. There's your lock engagement. Everything works beautifully. Lockup is solid. Centering is perfect. You got a 3 1/4 inch blade of CPM 20 CV, a 4.5 inch handle. Pocket clip is going to be ambidextrous tip up. There's your lock engagement. It's rock solid. The flipping action is perfect, as is the centering. This has a polished edge with what I'm calling some wear. So it's not the most refined polished edge, and it's got a little raggedy at the tip. So I'm going to offer a sharpened price, but it's a sharp knife, guys. These are out of stock everywhere. When they were available, they were $260 web price new. This one can be yours at $180 like it is. $205 with my edge. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. That's the ZT0456CF. Next up, you guys aren't going to believe this. Try buying one of these for under $500. I'm just saying. From Cold Steel. It's a 4-max. This was sort of Andrew Demko's magnum opus when cold steel was cold steel. This is a behemoth of a knife. Desert Tan G10. Look at the thickness of the lock bar and the backspacer. That clip is going to be tip up ambidextrous. Triad lock. Look at the size of the lock pin, the stop pin. It's insane. The blade, CPM 20 CV, beautifully stonewashed. I'll call it a spear point with a swedge. It might be a little overbuilt. Lockup is rock solid. Blade length, 4 inches. Handle is 5 15/16. I mean, rock solid, guys. And the centering is going to be dead down the middle. Let's see. We've got a polished edge with some wear. Still sharp, but it's got some wear. I will include a sharpening price, just in case, but it's plenty serviceable just like it is. We'll call it near mint in box. These are discontinued and out of stock. When you could buy these, they had a web price new of $3.99. They've been gone for a while. This knife in this configuration, these scales, this blade steel, eBay sold listings recent between $450 and $700. Look it up. I couldn't believe it. Your price on this one? How about 75 bucks less than the lowest sold listing I saw on eBay? $375 like it is. $400 with my edge. That's the Cold Steel 4 Max. Next up, oh guys, from Chris Reeve Knives, we've got a large Sebenza 21 computer-generated graphic, the glorious configuration. Here's your birth card. Born August 31, 2015. And here's the knife. God bless America. Old Glory. The stars, the stripes. Some honest snail trailing, not excessive, but they're there. Polished blade, polished edge, and this one needs no work. Okay? And check out the action. Oh, silky smooth. There's your lock engagement, early for a 21. Rock solid. And perfect Chris Reeve blade centering. This is too cheap, guys. It's too cheap. Your price, $450, like it is. No need for me to touch it. Discontinued, out of stock, unobtainium. The Chris Reeve Large Sebenza 21 CGG Glorious. Next up, from Hinder Knives, made in the USA. Little box, inside it is the half-track slicer, tri-way pivot, working finish on the frame and blade, and it does not have Coyote G10. I'm sorry, it does not. It's got Toxic Green and a Fade Anno blue and green clip. Ball bearings installed. 20 CV blade. 2 3/4 inches in length. 3 15/16 inches of handle. Steel inserted titanium frame lock. There is your engagement. It is rock solid. Flipping action is stupendous. Centering is perfect. It's got a polished edge. And it really doesn't need any help from me. Plenty sharp, plenty refined. That'll work. We will call this near mint in box. These are out of stock everywhere, brand new. When it was available at a $425 web price, this one can be yours. $360 like it is. No need to sharpen. That's the Hinder half-track slicer. Next up, got one from ProTech. in the old school box. The knife inside is the Tactical Response 4, the TR4 MA.1 manual action button lock. Comes in the ballistic nylon sheath. Sure it does. There. There's a knife in here somewhere, if I can extricate it. There's the TR4. It's a big sucker. Hard anodized black aluminum handle scales. I think that's a coated Emerson style Protect clip. Back spacer is satin on the sides and black on the gear pattern. Is a button lock manual on washers, I believe. Let me look that up. Yes. Nice detent for a button lock. The blade is 154 cm. It is 4 inches long. Horizontal satin on the flats and then a stone wash on the bevel and the swedge. 4 inches of blade. 5 1/8 inches of handle. Stainless steel glass breaker is a protrusion of the back spacer. We'll say action's beautiful. Lockup is rock solid. Centering is very close. I see it favoring the right ever so slightly. Condition is going to be near mint in box with pouch. These are out of stock everywhere. When they were available, you could buy them for $210, and they've become rather sought after. So we're going to do on this one $200 like it is, and no need to sharpen. Polished edge is squared away. $200 on the Protect TR4 MA.1. Next up, from the Giant Mouse Ace series, Anso and Voxness, we have the Giant Mouse Ace Sonoma Titanium. It's kind of an interesting, very slim profile knife. Bead blasted and tumbled titanium handle. A very cool pocket clip, milled titanium. Steel inserted titanium frame lock. Ball bearing pivot. M390 blade, 3 3/8 inches of slicey loveliness. 4 inches of handle. Is that right? I'm sorry, 4.5 inches of handle. It's a ball bearing flipper if I didn't mention it. There's your lock engagement on the titanium frame lock. Action is beautiful. Centering is perfect. Now this has a polished edge. It's not superb work. It's pretty sharp, but it could use some refining, especially at the tip and at the heel. But not bad. We'll call that near mint in box. These are $265 if you want to buy a new one at your favorite online retailer. You can buy this one though for $195 like it is, $220 with an ApostleP edge. It's the Giant Mouse Ace Sonoma TI. Next up, time for some Spideys. This one by way of Taichung, Taiwan. It's the Brad Southern. The OG Southern brown G10 scale over a titanium liner. Titanium frame lock with a brown G10 over travel stop. The Southern banana clip. Why? Because we have a Southern banana blade in beautiful polished stonewash CTS 204P. This has got a polished edge on it with a little wear at the tip, so I'm going to offer actually some good wear at the tip. I'm going to offer you a sharpened price, but we're going to call this one excellent in box. There's your centering. The action's fine opening. It just feels a little funky on closing, as most of these do. Lockup is rock solid. We'll call it excellent in box. They're discontinued. They're out of stock. And I think this is going to be a bargain, guys. Let's do 165 like it is, 190 with my edge on it. The Spyderco Southern folder. Next up, another Taichung Spidey. This one is the Smock in M390 with red G10. What does that mean? It means DLT Trading Exclusive. That knife looks awesome in red. And it is wearing, I don't know if it's a Lynch or an MXG, deep carry titanium clip. Love the flipper on the Smock. I really do, promise. Bidirectional satin blade, hollow ground, M390. This has got a polished edge with a little wear, so I am going to give you a sharpened price, but it's still very sharp. Lockup is rock solid on the button actuated compression lock. Ball bearing pivot. Centering is, what did I say? I didn't say. That's very close to perfect, if not perfect. Condition will be near mint in box. Sharpening noted, right? Let's do 175 on this one, 195 with my edge. That's the Spyderco Smock Red M390. Next up, another Spidey and another one from Taichung. This is a Domino Red. So the Domino with the red weave carbon fiber over G10 laminate was a Blue Ridge exclusive. Blue Ridge is a distributor, so several retailers had these. This is also wearing, I think it's a Lynch deep carry titanium clip. So you got a ball bearing flipper. I think this was Spyderco's first ball bearing flipper. Blade steel CTS XHP. This has, it's got a polished edge, but it's not quite refined at the tip, so I'm going to give you a sharpened price, although I'm sure it's going to cut just fine. It's very sharp. Don't feel the need to do that. There is your lockup on the steel inserted titanium frame lock. And you know, the ball bearing action on these has never been stellar, but it's nice. Centering looks to be perfect. We'll call it near mint in box. These are discontinued and out of stock. When they were available, they had a minimum advertised price of $220. This one can be yours. This has got to be a bargain. $160 like it is. $180 with an ApostleP edge. Spyderco Domino Red. Next up, from Benchmade. I told you there would be a fusion knife in the sale. This is it. The 318-2 proper. The -2 gets you carbon fiber covers, brass liners, and a clip point blade in S90V. And this is a first production knife. It is wearing an okay polished edge. Pretty sharp, but not quite refined. A little bit of scuffing up near the front. Let's see, no blade play, and the walk and talk is proper, which is to say isn't very good. Centering is beautiful. Condition will be near mint in box. Current map pricing for this knife is $160 at your favorite web retailer. This can be yours for $90. Like it is, $115 with my edge. The Benchmade 318-2 proper CF. Next up, I teased you guys about this in the heads up video yesterday. Who knows what goes in that box? I know you do. It is from Shirogorov. It is a Hottie R in M390 with dark cherry Alutex scales and an MRBS pivot. Look at that Alutex. I think that's sort of a layered aluminum and resin thing. It's just freaking cool, isn't it? So that handle on the Hottie is 5 inches in length. Out of that handle flies this blade. I promise it does. If you don't hit your canvas, it's long. 3 13/16 inches of lightly tumbled, finely bead blasted M390. Now this has a polished edge on it. It's okay. And there is, I think as a result of sharpening right by my thumbnail, there's a little scratch in the blade face. One scratch. And maybe a couple more little tiny ones back here. We're going to price it accordingly. There is your lock engagement on the steel inserted titanium frame lock. Ball bearing action is Shirogorov stunning. Blade centering is Shirogorov perfect. There's your titanium clip. There's your gear pattern backspacer. What a lovely knife. We'll call it near mint in box. These are out of stock everywhere. When they were available, they were $1,050 at your favorite web retailer. This one can be yours. $700 shipped, priority mail, $725 if I sharpen it. The Shirogorov Hottie R. Next up, we have one from Zieba. Zieba. Let's see what's in the box. Well, we got a little card that says this is the Zieba MS3. That's interesting. It says M390 on the card. Huh. For some reason I wrote 20 CV, but it says M390 on the car. So all bead blasted. It's like a tiny little Quiken. It's like a tiny little Quiken. And it's diminutive, but it is so sleek and beautiful. Milled titanium clip. That looks, I don't know, I doubt that you can reverse that because there's no pocket on the other side. So it's going to be tip up right hand. Look how the whole blade buries in the handle. Beautiful blade centering. Man, what a cool little knife. Ball bearing flipper, titanium frame lock with steel insert, blue titanium hardware. Rock solid lockup. Just everything beautiful. And this has got a beautiful polished edge. Something tells me I sharpened this. And here's why I think that. Because it's got a little tiny choil enhancement that looks like my work, I think. So what a nice little knife, guys. These are available brand new. By the way, 3 15/16 handle, 2 3/4 blade. Near mint inbox, polished edge. These are available brand new at your favorite knife retailer for $350. This one can be yours for $250. No need to sharpen. The Zieba MS3. Next up, from a Liang Ma design, if I held it right side up, it'd be easier to read. We have the Liang Ma design Lanny Flipper. I'm not sure what version this is, but I can tell you this. All the hardware is blue anodized titanium. It does have a reversible milled titanium clip with a fill tab on the offside. Titanium liners are actually not liners, it's a bolster lock. So the frame is relieved to accept the carbon fiber scales, the shred or marble carbon fiber. 4 13/16 inches of handle. Out of the handle flies that gorgeous M390 compound ground clip point blade with fuller, big old jimping. This has got a polished edge with some wear in it, so I'm going to give you a sharpened price. Blade is 3 1/4, handle is 4 5/16. Of course, it is a titanium bolster lock, steel inserted. There's your lock engagement, rock solid. Ball bearing flipper. There is your centering. It is perfect. We'll call it near mint in pouch. These are out of stock everywhere. When they were available, they were $440. Web price new. This one can be yours for $200, like it is. $225 with my Edge, the Liangma design Lanny Flipper. Next up, another from Liangma design. This is the Liangma KUF. The KUF for Kitchen Utility Folder. It is the carbon fiber scaled version. Titanium frame lock. Nice bead blast, sort of velvety. Steel inserted lock bar. And I love how the screw comes from the inside and the end of the screw is crowned and polished. That's beautiful. That screams Rayot, doesn't it? Anyhow, blue anodized milled titanium pocket clip that will be reversible for right or left hand tip up carry. These are not fun knives to open, just so you know. It is a ball bearing pivot. Blade steel on the KUF is S35VN. Blade length is 3 13/16. It's got some scuffing in the blade, and believe it or not, I think it's been used for kitchen duty. There's some powdery rust forming on that blade. It's been used, it's been sharpened. There's your lock engagement. It's rock solid. The action's nice and free, it's just not super fun to open. Blade centering's down the middle. So we're going to call this excellent in pouch. Used and sharpened and a little brushed on the blade, but it's really squared away mechanically. Your price on this one, $175 like it is, $195 with my Edge. The Liangma design Lanny Flipper. I'm sorry, KUF, Kitchen Utility Folder. Okay, next up, we got one from Lamech Tactical. Lamech. Oh, this thing is something else, guys. It is the Lamech Rainmaker, serial number R090, sporting a 4 1/4 inch blade of CTS XHP. A titanium handle with faux bolsters. In the center portion of the handle is the finish they call molten. The clip is bronze anodized stonewashed titanium. The back spacer is a molten pattern titanium spacer. Oh, guys. Something cool about this knife. Not only is it stonewashed, but it's like, it's almost Boba Fetted. I don't know if you can see that, but man, you're not going to be able to tell if this knife is new or old. That's just super cool. And it's sharp. I mean, super sharp. Look at that molten pattern. Got a little bronzy purple thing going on. Super cool. Super cool. So, let's see. Handle's 5 1/2. Blade is 4 1/2. It's a ball bearing flipper. Oh, look at you reaching out with that sucker. Man, 4 1/4 inches of XHP. Bidirectional satin. This has had an owner applied polished edge put on it, and then it's been used. So it could use a sharpening. I don't know, what was this knife new? $700 or something? It is a liner lock, not a frame lock. Very interesting. But titanium. And beautiful. Centering's dead. We'll call it near mint in the pouch. Your price, $450 like it is, $475 with an ApostleP Edge. That's the Lamech Rainmaker. Next up, another one from Lamech Tactical. Never the same. Oh, this one's going to be a Swish. Serial number 046. A 3 7/8 blade of Elmax with stonewash finish, titanium handle with a blue stonewash, a titanium clip with a blue stonewash, and the titanium hardware, which is anodized. It's actually not anodized, but anyway. Sculpted anodized backspacer. Ooh, oh my, would you look at that? Oh my. Oh, guys, look at that. 4 7/8 inch of loveliness on the handle. Look at that backspacer. Oh, it floats. It floats. Oh, beautiful clip. Ceramic ball retention. Steel inserted titanium frame lock. There's your engagement. Cool blade. Nice polished edge on this one. And it's like virginal almost. So we're not going to even include a sharpening price. The blade length is 3 3/4. Nice flipping action. Centering's dead. Lockup is beautiful. Definitely going to call this one near mint and pouch. Your price $450 like it is, and no need to sharpen. That's the Olamic Swish. Next up, from Bark River Knives, we got us an ultralight bushcrafter. My ultralight bushcrafter was my favorite small EDC fixed blade. It's now Heidi's favorite paring knife. So you got a beautiful fold-over style bushcraft sheath, and you've got an ultralight bushcrafter. Normally these are a Scandi Vex, but I would call this a low saber or an extremely high Scandi. Elmax blade steel, polished natural canvas micarta, no frills, just goodness. And oh, are they nice in the hand? Yes, they are. And like 90 thousandths blade stock, just what you want. So yeah, 3 3/8 blade, 4-inch handle. Very Mike Stewart handle, wouldn't you say? And it's a 4-finger grip, even in an overhand pinch. Inside the horn. Super efficient, guys. 3 3/8 blade, 4-inch handle. We're going to call it near mint to like new in the box. This would have been about $220 web price new. This one can be yours for $180 like it is, $200 with my edge on it. The Bark River Ultralight Bushcrafter. Next up, another one from Escanaba. It is the Bush Sax Bantam with blaze orange G10 handle scales. Oh yeah, check it out, guys. Comes in a pancake style sheath, vertical carry only, fire steel loop. Here's the knife. It's like a big old Warncliffe, ain't it? First production run. A2 tool steel. Blade length is 4 1/16. Handle is 4 9/16. It's a very Aurora handle, okay? Polished orange G10, superb in the hand. I mean superb in the hand. We'll call it near mint to like new in the box. Would have been about $210 web retail, brand new. This one can be yours for $160 like it is, $180 with an ApostleP edge. The Bark River Bush Sax Bantam. Next up, we have the Rob's Pick for tonight's sale. Why is it the Rob's Pick? See if you can figure it out. From Bark River Knives, we've got a Gunny Sidekick in Macassar ebony with red liners. I remember when my consignor ordered this brand new because it was shipped directly to me for my edge. It comes in the Gunny Sidekick specific sheath, which I think is remarkably handsome, by the way. Well, somebody really stuffed that sucker in there. First production run. Got the big sharpening choil. Beautiful clip point blade. 4 1/16 inches in length. Crafted of CPM M4. Look at that ebony wood. Look at those red liners. Oh, we'll call it near mint in box. It does have a little use on it since I sharpened it. So I'm going to offer it a sharpened price. Handle's 4 1/2, by the way. Beautiful Coke bottle Loveless Stewart design. Oh, so nice in the hand. Near mint inbox. Web price on this knife brand new would have been $280. This one can be yours at $225 like it is. $245 sharpened. The Bark River Gunny Sidekick. The Rob's pick for tonight's sale. Next up. Uh-oh. That's a funny looking box. There ain't no Sebenza in there. How about Anyala? How about Anyala? How about Anyala? Birth card says this S35VN knife was born August 31st of 2016. It comes in a beautifully crafted leather sheath. What does it say there? Gefeller Case Makers, Meridian, Idaho. Oh. Inside is a rather stunning thing of beauty. S35VN, beautifully stonewashed. Dark tone natural canvas micarta, beautifully 3D machined. 3 7/8 blade, 4 5/8 handle. Very nice in the hand. Very nice indeed. I don't think it's got a little use on it. Doesn't appear to have been sharpened. Yeah. These are out of stock. They might be discontinued. I don't know. But guys, have you seen the prices of these things on the used market? Sold listings on eBay ranging between $350 and $700. Sold listings. We're going to put this one in right at the bottom. Your price $350 like it is, near mint inbox. $375 with my edge. That's the Chris Reeve Nyala. Next up, long reach. A long reach for the Lana Humphrey Custom Brute de Forge Hunter. There it is, the whole package. Fold over bushcraft style sheath. My phone is vibrating. It's probably going to continue because I think this guy's going to send me about 8 or 9 texts. Okay. Inside we get this. A hand-forged 1095 blade with the Brute de Forge style. Hammer marks on the flats, polished spine, tapered tang. What are those, black liners? Yeah. Cocobolo handle. Now we do have some scratches in the blade face. The edge has been sharpened and not very well. But you know, it's a Brute de Forge Hunter. 5 1/4 inch blade. Looks like close to 3/16 thick. 5 1/4 inch handle in Cocobolo with the forged finger guard. We're going to call it very good in box with sheath. Your price $200, $200 like it is, $230 if you would like me to clean up that edge for you. That's the Lon Humphrey Brute de Forge Hunter. Oh, next up we have the last knife in the sale, and what a little sweetie it is. From Buck, established 1902. Edge of a Legend, made in the USA. What we got here is, in between all those letters and numbers, it's a Buck 117 small Brahma, or small special, depending on where you look. There is your leather sheath with the typical Buck strap and snap. What a little honey that is. We've got a clip point blade, 4 3/8 inches in length, with a fuller, 420HC. The handle is 4 1/4 inches, and the main part of the handle is crafted of Cocobolo diamond wood, so a laminated or a plywood product, all Cocobolo. Brass guard and pommel with black spacers. The handle length is 4 1/4, and man, does that fit the hand in any grip you want to employ. And somebody's put a polished edge on this. It's not great. Not too good. But it's not over sharpened either. I can still see factory grinding marks on that edge. So near mint inbox with the leather sheath. These are out of stock and probably discontinued. I found one sold listing on eBay and it was 130 bucks. This one can be yours at $80 like it is. 100 if you'd like it with my edge on it. That is the Buck 117 Small Brahma. And that, guys, brings us to the end of another knife sale on the Apostle P channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Have at her, boys.